Alright, we're talking about polynomials today. And polynomials, as it says on the top of this sheet, are named according to their degree and number of terms. We talked about number of terms like way back the very first day of class, so you probably have forgotten what I'm talking about by now. But degree, and we're going to highlight all of our degrees, which you're going to understand what that means in a minute, in green. That's green even though it's yellow. Degree is the same as an exponent. It means the highest exponent is what it's actually classified by. So degree is the same as exponent, but you're going to see that word instead of exponent for a little while now. Like you'll even have a question on Friday's quiz that says something about what is the highest degree of this polynomial. It's talking about what's the exponent, of which one's the biggest. Okay? Alright, so we're first going to talk about polynomial, which the degree is the largest exponent, so it's written right here. For a polynomial with one variable, the degree is the largest exponent of that variable. Something that is a constant, it has no exponent, is something like just a number. So let's say 2. That's an example of a constant. It's a number. Okay, linear. We've done linear equations before. They always have something in them. Do you remember what? Yeah, when we graph them, they have a line. It can have a positive line. So she says positive, let's make a positive line. 2x plus 4. It is linear because it has an x. A variable, yeah. Why does it not have any exponent? It's degree 1. It would have that understood 1 there, which we talked about before. Alright? The word quadratic means it has a degree of 2. So that means we need what with our x or variable? An exponent of 2. So somebody tell me something's got an exponent of 2. Okay, x squared. I'm going to add something. Add a number or something back there. Okay. That's a quadratic because its biggest exponent is 2. Okay. How about cubic, which has an exponent of 3? 7 what? I want to put an x with it or it's not a, or some variable. 7x to the third. Let's put plus x squared this time. Even though that one's got an exponent, how come it's cubic, not quadratic? The 3 is the biggest one, yes. Okay, how about quartic is 4? 6x to the 4th. Let's add something extra to it, or subtract something. Minus what? X cubed. And what did you say, Braden? What did you say? Plus 2. We can keep adding to it. It doesn't matter as long as your highest exponent is the 4. There, that still makes it quartic. Okay. Quintic. Exponent of 5. Anything bigger than 5, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 47, whatever, is just called that degree. So if it had an exponent of 47, it would be the 47th degree. They quit naming them, okay? That's actually true for a lot of things. They just quit. They're done. They don't want to name it anymore. So let's say 7x to the 6th plus x to the 5th plus x squared plus 17. But it's still 6th degree because it has the highest exponent is 6. We're going to match that just so you can make sure you've got that part. This is a 6, so it's 6th degree. This is a 5, quintic. 4 quartic, 3 cubic, 2 quadratic. That understood 1 is there, linear, just a number, constant. It is green, yep. You don't have to have this chart memorized. You need to roughly know what they are, though, because if you had this question and it was multiple choice, you might need to be able to pick out that it's cubic, okay? This is not mathematically a thing, but to help you understand, a polynomial has 2 names. We're going to take its first name from this chart. Not really a math thing, but we're going to take its first name from that chart. Right, does polynomial Suzanne? No. Suzanne is not on this list, so we can't name it Suzanne. No, this is like, its first name would be Quintic. Its last name comes from this chart. We're going to highlight the term here in orange. All right, now we're talking about terms, and terms are always separated by addition or subtraction. Monomial means it has one term. That means it's not separated by anything because there's only one of them. So just anything at all is a monomial, like x to the 4th, or 2, or whatever. As long as there's no addition or subtraction anywhere with it, it's a monomial. And that's how we're going to separate them and saying, here, look, we have just one thing here. This thing that I said is the term. Okay? Mono means one. Binomial, like a bicycle's got 2 wheels, means 2. So I need 2 things separated by addition or subtraction. I'm going to just use this linear thing over here. 2x plus 4. It is a binomial because I have one term, 2 terms. 2 and x are not separate because they don't have addition or subtraction between them. So binomial means 2. Trinomial, like a tricycle, means you got 3 wheels, so we have 3 terms. Somebody tell me something with 3 terms. 4x plus 6. Okay, I don't want to do 9, and here's why. They would be like terms, I could put them together. 9y. Because I can't put any of that together, right? Because I've got 1, 2, 3. You normally see something more like what we had for quintic, but it does not matter as long as there are 3 things that can't be combined. We're going to use the same thing we had for the 6th degree for 4 or plus. Anything above 4 or 4 and above, they quit naming special. They just say, hey, this is a polynomial. It has 4 in this one. 4 terms. So we get our first name, either constant to quintic, and our last name, monomial to polynomial. We're going to practice and see what's going on. Yes? They are adding, not multiplying. That's what we used to do with multiplying, but they're adding. the 3 at the bottom of this here. It says name the polynomial. So we're going to get the first name from over here. And to decide what the first name is, take your green highlighter and highlight the highest exponent. What is the highest exponent? This 3 right here. I'm going to need a new green highlighter. Okay, so looking at our chart, having a degree of 3 means this is a what? It's cubic. Okay. How do we get the last name? Okay, we got 1, 2. So what's its last name? Okay. Cubic binomial is its name. That's all I have to do is name it. Okay. The next one. What's its highest exponent? Does this have an exponent? No. Okay, the only options for no exponent are constant or linear. Now, linear has a variable. Does this have a variable? So then what is this? Why is it a monomial? Because it only has one term. Try the last one there. All right, what is the highest exponent? 4, so it's a quartic. Okay, how many terms does it have? So it's a quartic trinomial. Very good. Glue this in. You'll have to glue it in sideways on page 90 for accuracy. Okay. Write each polynomial in standard form means we're going to look at the exponents and put them in order from biggest to smallest. And we're going to take everything that's attached to those exponents with it. Okay? We will then give the leading coefficient. Does anybody remember what a coefficient is? It's a number. It's a number in front of what? Number in front of the variable, which means when we put it in standard form, it's the very first number that's sitting there. Okay? All right, on number 1, what is our largest exponent? 3. What is everything that is next to that 3? I mean, like, not next to it. What is connected with it? That 4x, yeah, the whole thing there. We're going to put that first, negative 4x to the third. You do not have to cross it out when you have moved it, but I like to know that I'm done with it. I've taken care of that. I'm good. What is the next highest exponent? 2, and this negative 2x goes with it. So bring it down. And I'm going to cross it out because I'm done with it. Okay, what's the next highest exponent? Why has 20x got a higher exponent than just 1? That's a good guess. The bigger number, but it's not the bigger number. If you look at your chart, x has a degree of what? And just the number has a degree of, that's why this one's bigger. So plus 20x. And then what I do with the 1, just bring it down there. This is in standard form. Standard form just means it goes in order. If you have other variables, it goes in alphabetical order. Alright, last thing I need to do is write down the leading coefficient. After writing leading coefficient, we're now going to put LC. So if you want LC, stands for leading coefficient. What is the very first number now that's in standard form? That's my leading coefficient. I finished that problem. Number 2. Yes. For the leading coefficient? -4 is the leading coefficient because coefficient means the number in front of x, and since it's leading, it's the very first number in front of the variable, so it's right there. Alright, number 2. What is the highest exponent? -z, which goes with 6. So I'm going to write that first. -z to the 6th. Make sure you bring the negative with it. What's next? Z to the 3rd. Plus, because it doesn't have a negative in front, to the 3rd. Plus Z to the 3rd. Alright, then what's next? Okay, like I said, I'm no longer going to write the word leading coefficient. LC is the same as leading coefficient. What is the very first number in this? Oh, that's a good question. She says 4. That's the first number that we see, but I need the number in front of the very first piece we have here. -1. If you need to write a 1 there, that's fine. -1. I want you guys to try 3 and 4. Alright, number 3. How did you guys do this so that it's in standard form? Okay, what's its leading coefficient? 1 is what's in front. Alright, how about number 4? Yeah, to the first if you want to write that. What's the leading coefficient? Okay. Alright, last but not least, 1 through 4. Alright, guys. The last 4 are about combining like terms, which you have done over and over and over again. But you need to know that a like term is something that has the same variable and the same exponent. So we're going to write that right there. A like term is something that has the same variable and exponent. If the exponent's not the same, they are not like terms. If you look at number 1, I'm going to highlight -2y to the 3rd. Are there any more y to the 3rds? Okay, then I'm going to highlight that in the same color. Those are like terms then. I'm going to add the numbers, the coefficients in front. What is -2 plus 2? 0. So what happens to those? They just cancel out. So I'm not going to write anything under that then. Okay. I'm going to move on to the next one. -8y squared. Are there any other y squareds? Yes. What number's in front of that one? 1. If you need it, write it. I'm going to add the numbers in front. -8 plus 1. What is that? -7. Remember, if it's opposite signs, you subtract, keep the sign of the larger one. I do not change the variable or the exponent. I'm only changing the coefficient in front. Number 2. P squared q to the third. Are there any more p squared q to the thirds? Where? This one right here. What number's in front of the first one right here? Yeah, since there's no addition or subtraction between it, is all one piece there. What is 1 minus 4? Negative 3. Do not change p squared or q to the third. I just changed the number in front. Number 2. Negative 4 p to the fifth, q to the fourth. Are there any more p to the fifth, q to the fourth? Okay. To combine those, negative 4 plus 3, what's that? Negative 1. Do not change p to the fifth, q to the fourth. I have a problem with this one. It's not in standard form. Do you know why it's not in standard form, though? The 5 and 4, by the way, this degree is 9, because you add them together if you've got more than one. And this degree is 5, so that one's definitely larger. So we're going to flip them around. And then it's in standard form. I want you to make sure all your work's in standard form today. You don't have to have the negative 1, you could just have negative. Okay? I want you guys to try 3 and 4. You aware. Alright, so these last 2 questions, 3 and 4, how or what did you group together? Okay, the first one you got p squared q to the second, and what else? Okay, because you got p second, q second, p second, q to the second. Alright, what is 3 minus 3? Those go away. Those 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 times anything is 0. Okay? Do you have any other like terms? Okay. Squared to the third, does it go with anything else? Right beside it. What is negative 3 plus 4? Do you actually need that one? No. If you put it, it's not wrong, no. Okay. What about this little person hanging out right here? Just bring it down. It doesn't have any like terms. Is this in standard form? Yes. Something you should know is that this actually has a degree of 5. You add them together. And this has a degree of 2 because it's 1 and 1. You rarely will have questions like that, but you might as well know it exists. Alright, number 4. What do you put together? Okay, you've got the ABs. AB, negative 5AB. Is that 6AB? Negative 4. Why? 1 minus 5, negative 4AB. So if you put plus, you need to change it. It's now minus 4B, negative 4B. Okay, I'm going to cross those out. Negative 4AB. Do we have anything else in common? Negative a to the second. Okay. What is negative 1a to the second plus 3a to the second? Okay. Do we have any other like terms? 4 and 10. What is 4 plus 10? One more check. Is this in standard form? No. What goes first? Then what? Now what? That's in standard form now. Glue this in your notebook on page 91.